We first see Mallory, a female, at the beginning of the movie. She was traveling alone in her vehicle. She was leaving the city to make arrangements for her marriage, which was taking place a week from now. She didn't look forward to getting married. She didn't think she would ever get hitched. She said nothing. She veers off the main route and onto the service lane. She believes it to be a convenience and that it must also be attractive. But her vehicle suffers harm as she continues. Mallory works diligently to get her vehicle moving, but even so, it won't turn over. Likewise, there were no signs, so that she can call somebody for help. Mallory gets upset as this place was deserted and no one was there except her. Meanwhile, another person comes there. He was a boy named Christian who shows sympathy to Mallory. He starts repairing her car. He gets succeeded in repairing her car. Mallory becomes happy by seeing this. She leaves after saying thanks to Christian. Everything was fine till yet, but Mallory shows nonsense here. She thinks that boy helped her by repairing her car, but I left him there instead of offering him a ride. She makes him sit in the car thinking this. This was the hugest mistake of Mallory's whole life. In the beginning, Christian talks here and there to impress Mallory, but as they cover some distance, his way of talking changes. His behavior wasn't the same now. He started talking weird stuff with Mallory. Mallory understood that he is cheap and what does he want? She stops the car and asks Christian to get out of it. But he wasn't supposed to leave the car this easily. Mallory was also not aware of the fact that she has stuck in huge trouble. Christian takes out his knife and he takes Mallory somewhere by pointing the knife at her. Mallory had to obey him to save her life. But Mallory notices that Christian doesn't have his seat belt on. This was the chance for Mallory to save her life. Mallory throws her car down a hill from a curve. The car crashes going down. Mallory was safe. Unluckily, she couldn't get out of the car because her foot was stuck in the seat badly. She tries hard to free herself but stays unable. We see Christian outside. He was all right and healthy. He was in a fine condition than Mallory. In spite of being outside, he doesn't help Mallory but leaves her there to die. Mallory keeps screaming for help. The night falls and nothing changes. Mallory was still stuck there. She wasn't able to escape. Seeing the situation, it seemed impossible for her to escape. The door of the car was locked. Mallory feels chilly as the night descends and the temperature drops. Mallory battles the chill by donning some of the car's clothes. As there was still some battery life in the vehicle, she switches on the heater. Although she protected herself from the weather, there were still many issues. Since this was a jungle, many wild creatures could be found there. They were circling Mallory's vehicle. Mallory notices it and switches on the car's headlamps. All creatures are terrified of it and flee. Somehow this night passes, but Mallory was stuck into huge trouble now. She had a little bit of water and nothing to eat with her. Then the night falls. It was now the next morning. Mallory was still stuck there and wasn't able to escape. She couldn't see any hope to be saved. She wasn't in a good condition already, and then Christian comes there to torture her. He was in a good condition and happy. He tells Mallory that he found a cabin nearby. It is empty for now, but a family lives there. They aren't at home and have gone somewhere. He had brought food there as well. He didn't bring it for Mallory but to eat in front of her to tease her. He sees that Mallory is about to die. Therefore, he leaves from there. Night falls like this. Mallory finds a lighter from her car. She ignites the lighter to spend the night. Mallory falls asleep after so many hours. It was not too long when she slept. She had to wake up again because rats were walking on her body. As Mallory was so aggressive out of the circumstances, she kills a rat. But this thing gave her a benefit. She got her food by killing the rat. She eats the rat. The next day, Mallory wakes up due to the phone's ring. She finds her phone and finally, she sees a ray of hope. But Christian comes there again to vanish all of her hope. When Mallory realizes that Christian has come there, she hides her cell phone. Christian tells that the residents of that cabin came back, but I have locked them up in their house. He tells Mallory that you have no need to be afraid of me. I am here to help you. He roars that how he is here to help Mallory. He snatches Mallory's cell phone from her because he saw Mallory hiding her cell phone. Then he gives a saw to Mallory and tells that this is your help. Upon which, Mallory says that this saw can't cut the door. Christian replies, yes, you are saying right. This saw can't cut the door. I didn't bring this saw to cut the door. I gave you this saw so that you cut your foot and be able to get free. This is the only option for you to be free. Christian leaves after saying this. Mallory wanted to get free at any cost. but she wasn't this courageous to cut her own foot with her hands. At the night, Mallory feels thirsty and she was feeling dead due to it. Luckily, it starts raining there. She wouldn't die of thirst now as she gets a lot of water to drink. Then she turns on the radio quickly. It is told that roads are flooded with water due to the heavy rain. Drivers are turning their cars to small roads from the main road. It meant cars will come where Mallory is stuck. Mallory feels optimistic that someone will arrive to assist her at this point. Christian's vehicle was the one that stopped in front of her. Upon observing this, Mallory hits on a notion. She daubs her feet with some of the diseased rat's blood. She presents a lifeless persona. She did this to demonstrate to Christian how she perished after slicing her foot. She allegedly wounded her foot and passed away, according to Christian. He pulls up next to her vehicle and she takes opportunity to stab him. She takes out his car's keys. She locks his car and throws the keys away. She did it because someone will come seeing his car stopped by there. But Christian comes out of the car suddenly. Meanwhile, a police car also comes there. Mallory screams out loud for help. There was a huge storm, therefore, he doesn't hear Mallory's voice. Christian seeks help from the police officer and goes away. Helpless Mallory keeps screaming. She thinks that she'll stay laying here. She'll have to do some courage to save herself. After deep thinking, she decides to cut her foot. Mallory had a good fate. Her car starts moving due to flooding water. The door of her car gets open and she gets free without cutting her foot. Then she was in search of a way to escape. Then she finds a cabin and one's screams could be heard from it. This was the cabin Christian was talking about. Christian was inside for sure. Mallory's way was clear and she could run away to save her life. But she doesn't do this and moves towards the cabin. She gets to know that many traps are embossed here. She sees that the house owner got killed by someone. Also, Christian killed that police officer from whom he took lift. He had tied and seized a lady of that cabin. Mallory was setting that girl free secretly, but then Christian comes there. But Mallory did a wise act by picking up the gun of the police officer. Mallory and Christian fight here a lot. Availing the chance, Mallory makes him fall down. Christian falls directly into a trap. His foot gets stuck in it. He was injured and his condition wasn't so good. Here Mallory helps Christian as Christian did hers. The only way to save yourself, he says as he hands Christian a dagger. Cut off your foot with a scalpel to release yourself. Cutting a foot with a knife was incredibly challenging and excruciating. Mallory then departs with the local female after stating this. Christian is then seen expiring. He passes away soon after. It implies that Mallory exacted her retaliation. The lesson in this tale is do evil, have bad. The film stops here. We appreciate your interest.